right. Welcome to the Victors Nation show. I'm your host, Jason Robinson. The boys, Derek McCarty, Dre Fame. We only speak truths and absolutes here. We have an exciting topic for you guys today, a show that we have not done since we started in 23. But first, got to talk the recruiting trail. We're the recruiting trail right now. Absolutely crazy. Just recently, yesterday, four-star edge, Mikhail Blade. We got a top 30 recruit defensive line. So Michigan, probably defensive line you pretty soon here, but four-star Alistair is well from Texas. Absolutely killing it right now. So what do you guys think about that? What do you guys look at just the recent success that Michigan has with recruiting right now? We're going to talk about some other names. But what do you guys think what's going on right now, like what in the positivity of that we got for this program?
Derek, go ahead.
I think we got some good momentum going, and I'm not necessarily surprised by it. I think that, and we'll probably dive into this pretty deep here as we get closer to football season. I think that Michigan's made big progress in the era that we're in of college football, expanding and having a big footprint now when it comes to NIL, and when it comes to the new ruling that I know we're going to dive into at a later date, for the revenue sharing. I mean, Michigan's going to come out as a big winner in that because of the powerful brand that Michigan carries. And this was Sharon Moore as a position coach for Michigan. Before he was even the offensive coordinator, he was one of the best recruiters in the country. And so as he progressed from a position coach and a strong recruiter, he became the offensive coordinator and a strong recruiter. And now he's a head coach that's a strong recruiter. So I'm not surprised, given that now he's in his first full cycle as head coach, to see us landing some pretty big wins on the recruiting trail. What'll be year after year. And the fact that we're doing it right now while there is still a pending NCAA investigation tells me that there's not a lot of concerns about what that pending NCAA investigation is going to show. Otherwise, some of these big time recruits would probably be scared away.
Except for the people that have the disease called excuses. Yeah, Trey, what do you think?
I mean, I think he's shaping the program in his image. He started last year and is getting better and better. I think he's chiseling away every piece to build his masterpiece. I think it's gonna take maybe one more year, you know what I'm saying? Maybe or maybe even two, you know what I'm saying, to see what he's fully capable of coaching. But he's doing a great job moving the needle for Michigan, making sure we're not behind on recruiting and staying in the loop as in recruiting, you know what I'm saying, keeping our name hot. I think him and Dusty May are bringing fresh light into Michigan's program. So I have no complaints about the position the program is going in as far as recruiting. I think it's going to get better and better as more pro. I don't know what he's telling these kids or what the pitch is, but it's working tremendously. And like I said, I can't do nothing but be more happy for us as a fan base and as for Michigan as a whole, just to see what the product he's trying to put on the field is outstanding. And I just can't wait to see what the future holds for us.
Revenue sharing, impact this academic year, NIL, but Dre's right. I think we're still finding guys that want to play football, still want to be a part of Michigan's culture. That hey, you're coming here to work your ass off. You ain't just coming here for a paycheck. And we have those types of bonuses, those types of incentives, and things like that. But absolutely, did you guys see my post I posted later today or earlier today? It was Brady Marchese. So I don't know if you guys saw that post, but hard commit to Georgia. Now it looks like he's trending towards Michigan, and that was like a 9-minute gap. It's like, what the fuck just happened? So Money talks, maybe. I have no idea, but 9 minutes, like that's a pretty quick swap right there, but pretty crazy to look at that. We also have Zion Robinson, not related. 4-star wide receiver. He just canceled his official visit to TCU. And then 5-star offensive tackle Felix Ojo as well, too, is potentially hot on the trail for us. So
that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know what he's doing, man, but he is working his magic. That 9-minute gap thing was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, it's nuts. So, like, yeah, everyone assumes the money right away, but, like, you don't know. Like, there's other factors involved as well, too. We know the world that we live in. We're not dumb, right? But still, I mean, Georgia's competing with that as well, too. But it's crazy. I know I'm missing some names as well, too, but those are, like, the top 5 I was kind of looking
Michigan,
at.
they don't want to compete with us with money, man. Our money too.
No, I mean, so revenue share as well, too. We're looking at what? Mostly going to football, so the schools can now pay players legally, NCAA, dumbasses. So $15 million to probably $20 million, mostly going to football, million, whatever, going to basketball, and then other academics, other sports as well, too. So we are going to be a top contender, but, I think it's important for especially, all sports, right? But we're looking for the right players as well, too. We're looking for the right athletes as well. So to fit that football program. But I mean, we could talk about basketball as well, too. I know we're going to get into that more, but it's like, it's another coach, Dusty May, running in hot right now in his second year. Really had a top 10 transfer portal class last year, but now with revenue sharing, schools can play players for the first time, legitimately. He's probably going to have one of his best teams, and it's only his second season. So, for the love of God, when it's a national championship in basketball. Last one was in '89, so it's been a hot fucking minute. So
it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
Couple comments early. Brett hopping in with a few different comments. How are we doing today, fellas? Well, best part of the day right here. So
yeah, we talked about that before we went live. Yep. It's
Brett,
like recess for lunch or gym class, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Brett agrees with the take on Sharon being friendly. It's easy for him to get recruits. Agrees with everything we're talking about, right? Because he's just a genuine dude. Travis hopped on right away and got on Dre's case.
So you get off here.
Hey, I'm trying to read comments in the group.
I was gonna say stop placing bets, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, not this time.
But so yeah. I mean, we're getting to a point in time now where we're gonna have a summer's worth of content to cover. Hitting up. One of the big ones is going to be talking about how much, we could probably have a full podcast on each sport, on football and basketball, and how the recent rulings are going to impact both sports. But what we've got going today is a podcast to lay out our top 5 favorite Michigan football wins. And so we, like Jason said, we haven't done something like this before, and it's kind of low hanging fruit. It's low hanging fruit and fun topics to talk about. And I think it's going to be fun to. I think it's going to be fun before we get into it. Gigi, on I guess we've got to get on Dre's case here.
Jesus,
it's all good.
Dude, we're not even 10 minutes in, and you're like, people are just giving a hard ass time.
Hey, long as they interact, then I'm cool with it.
Yeah, love it.
Corey hopping in. I can still grow better facial hair than Derek.
There go our daily Corey
as well.
But hop in, join the conversation as we go through this. Share the favorite Michigan wins from your experience, and we're probably going to have people that have different eras of football that have had games that have been very impactful for them. But we'll get to it. We'll get into it here. A top 5 countdown from each of us on what our favorite Michigan football wins have been. Yeah. And so I'll start with number 5. Number 5 for me, it was there's a couple games that I was torn between that the two of you may have on your list. But the one I ended up going with as the number 5 best win for me is the triple overtime win against Michigan State at the Big House in 2004. The game where I think we're about halfway through the fourth quarter and down by 17, and kicked a field goal, kicked an onside kick, recovered the onside kick, Braylon touchdown. So we cut it from 27-10 to 27-20 pretty quick. And then got the ball back, scored again, tied it, went into 3 overtimes with Michigan State. And that was the game where in the post-game press conference, Mike Hart, famously for us, infamously for the Michigan State fan base, referred to Michigan State as Michigan's little brother. So for me, I was really torn between choosing that game or another game that we're probably going to talk about. And the reason I landed with that game is I was 14 years old at the time. And so even though I was a Michigan fan, I was never really like the 14-year-old high school kid, had other things on my mind on Fridays and Saturdays. And that game really tied me into, holy shit, college football is incredible. And also, to me, that was the birth of the Michigan State football rivalry. Growing up in the UP, it was kind of weird where a lot of people in the UP at the time liked Michigan for football, Michigan State for basketball, because Michigan State's basketball head coach is Tom Izzo, who is from the UP himself. And so it was this weird thing where, to me, that was the birth of the Michigan versus Michigan State rivalry, and a hell of a football game. And Braylon Edwards and Mike Hart were two of my favorite Michigan players in that era of football. They were two of my favorite college football players in that era of football, and they just absolutely dominated that game. Mike Hart had, I think, over 200 yards rushing. Braylon Edwards had like 150 yards and 3 touchdowns receiving. So for me, that was number 5 on my list.
I was a sophomore in high school, and I remember where I was at watching that game as well too. It was crazy, but yeah, Sue, for real. Yep, 14. You look great for your age, though, Sue. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to see you.
You're not old, Sue. You're very seasoned.
Yes.
You're not old, Sue. You're seasoned.
Jeremy, what's up, brother? Let's go blue. 04 Michigan State game was great. It was my first time at Big House. Yeah, I remember you commenting on Derek's pod post too. And then we have Brett as well. Game at the Big House was 06-07. Michigan won on the goal line stand against Ball State, and ever since then, the hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. 06, I was a senior in high school. It's 2 more years after. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Corey, real quick too. That's going to be tough. If we mix sports, that would be
absolutely.
Like I'm going to need like a top.
Corey's multitasking had him miss the fact that we're doing the top football wins of all time.
That was crazy, though. That was fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah,
that was nuts for the win.
That was.
Where am I going next?
Number 5 for me, Jason. What's your number 5?
Yeah, so real quick, I'm going to run through these honorable mentions because the fact that you guys can pick up like top 5 for football games for greatest games that you've experienced. I know, Dre, that this is actually going to be a tough topic for you because I feel like you could have more than 5. It's like asking me like what my favorite South Park episode is, asking me what my favorite South Park episode, asking me, well, like, hey, what do you like at Taco Bell? Like, I can't just name 5 fucking items, all right?
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of tough. So I got right, right, Trey, you feel me? So, like, honorable mentions for games and moments real quick. Brady's comeback in 2000 Orange Bowl versus Bama. That was stellar. Derek, you already mentioned it. 04 versus Little Sister, the Braylon catch. Manningham in 2005, I believe, versus Penn State. I think a lot of people forget about this game too, just because, it really wasn't great times. But 2008, Michigan's comeback against Wisconsin. And I believe our quarterback in that game was Tate Forsey, I believe, number 5. But that was a crazy game as well, too, if you guys remember that. I still remember, just nuts. And then last but not least, honorable mentions, before I get to my number 5 here, was when MSU hid their offensive play calls the whole first half, actually believing the bullshit, and then getting blown out 49-0 at home, and then deciding to an image of Hitler, thinking that was a good idea. But what a bunch of dumbasses. So kind of throw that one in there as well, too. Epic. Idiots. Number 5. 2015. Jim's first season at Michigan. Like, being at the game must have been stellar, awesome, but you could feel the energy. You could feel a different energy, like, from the fan base, from the crowd, just being at that game, right? Him taking over the program. But the third game at the Big House that season, because I think the first week one was at Utah. We lost that game, by the way, horse shit. But at the Big House against BYU, though. Rudock to Darborough for the OBJ catch. If you guys remember that, you had Jake Butt, Ty Isaac on the team. Just met Ty Isaac's cousin at the NFL draft, too, by the way, in Green Bay. And then Davion Smith's 60-yard touchdown run out of a massive bile up the field. The defender couldn't wrestle him down, couldn't take him down, and a touchdown. Like, I know a lot of people are thinking, like, why the fuck? Like, would you even, like, think that would be, like, a memorable game as a top 5? It was actually for a Michigan fan. Jim's first season, and it was just different, right? That game was just different. I believe it was week 4 against BYU. We won, like, 31-0, I believe. 30-something to nothing. But, like, absolutely stellar atmosphere, incredible game. But, dude, Davion Smith, I mean, like a lot of people don't think of, like, the best running back at Michigan, right? But still a big body, upper build. That linebacker, I believe, I think it was Michael Davis or something, I can't remember. But, like, the fact that he tried to wrestle him down, he just threw him down like a fucking rag doll to score. And then out of the pile, like, out of nowhere, like, that game was top 5 for me. That's my number 5. I still remember it to this day. I still go back and watch the highlights on YouTube from it. Dre, you're not in that video, in any of those highlights, by the way. I would tell you, but, like, I got you in some other ones, though, dude. But, like, crazy, though, dude. Crazy. Like, a lot of people probably don't think about that game, but that is, like, what, as a fan, an individual fan, like, that was just different for me. It was just awesome. It's a different season, for sure. Not the greatest game at the end of the season, but it was still a good season. I loved it.
For sure. Catch up on a couple comments that came in here. Sue, tying back to the Taco Bell comments, right? Because you only eat Taco Bell. I will vouch for the fact that it may be his most commonly chosen spur of the moment place to eat, but I also see him eat cheesesteaks and pizza.
I seen him eat pizza before
and wraps,
wings,
buffalo
chicken wraps, wings. That's if someone asks me, like, hey, you have only one food you could choose from the rest of your life, it's gonna be wings. Wings.
I'd go with that for sure.
Hell yeah. Never
GG with the yes that she agreed that game was, well, either she agreed with the Taco Bell or she agreed with. Can you confirm
Taco Bell or game, GG? Trey, just ask her real quick. We need to know. That game, oh yeah. Okay,
Corey.
so it wasn't the Taco Bell. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Jesus Christ,
Good,
man.
I'm not trying
Corey.
to spoil anything. Go ahead.
Corey hitting us 32-29 road win over Nebraska in 2021. Late night, for sure.
Hostile crowd always in Lincoln. Fuck, especially at night.
That kind of defined that season of 2021.
In the hurdle,
let's toast. Let's toast media. Thanks for joining. Go Blue.
Yeah, dude.
Go Blue. Appreciate you.
Go Blue.
But you know, I agree, right? Tying into you know, it's a lot of times it's more than just the game itself that makes a game top 5, right? Or like a game high up on our list, right? And I completely get the beginning of the Harbaugh era having more of an impact just beyond that game, because that you're right. There was clearly, it was largely the same team, right? Like it was pre-transfer portal, so it's not like you could go and just rebuild your team with transfers, right?
Yeah.
Some graduate transfers that you bring in that were like 50-year seniors, but absolutely one of the things that I was a Harbaugh fan before he came to Michigan, because I was a 49ers fan, and he was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
He was honestly one of my favorite coaches just that existed, but his teams were disciplined. They were where they were supposed to be when they were supposed to be there, doing what they were supposed to do. And that was the biggest, right? When you say you could tell the culture was different. Even against Utah, even in the game that they lost against Utah, you could tell that the culture was different. They lost that game in a different manner. Awesome. All right, Dre, what about you? Number 5. What's number 5 on your list?
My number 5 game. I only can do things that I've been a part of and I can remember. Like, you know what I mean? So, even though Michigan State game. Okay. Even though I've been a part of Michigan my whole life, I'm gonna just go off stuff that most recent and near and dear to me. You know what I'm saying? So, my number 5 win, I'm a go with the 1,000 win game. That it was a great day in Maryland. It was a hard fought game, a trap game
dude.
at that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of those games where you just had to be there, man. And at the end, when we just was the first team to win 1,000, had 1,000, or you know what I'm saying, next to our name, man, it was something special, man. You just, like I said, you had to be there. I wish I could have stormed the field at Maryland, but we didn't. Shout out to my boy Travis and shout out Gigi. We had a ball, and we had a ball at that game. But yeah, that's my 5th one. That 1,000 win game, man. It was the atmosphere. It was just fun. It was a fun day. It was a fun day. It wasn't like we knew we was gonna go in there and win. Like, we knew we was gonna win, but it wasn't just given to us.
I didn't even look that way. It looked like we were gonna smoke show them, but yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
everybody thought we was about to go in there and just give them the business, and Maryland put up a great fight. A great fight, and like I said, it was just magical at the end, man, to be a part of that.
Yeah, and you know, that's the difference too, as we talk about what were our favorite games. Is the difference, but part of it's where did we witness that game, right?
Yeah.
And so it hits differently when you're at the games and when you're part of the crowd, which will segue me to the next game. Hold on, Gigi threw a comment in here. 1,000 win had us on edge. Felt like we were right there with Mikey in his pick 6.
We'll always forever be in history on that highlight.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But that'll segue me to my my number 4 game then, out of the top 5, because a lot of I won't be surprised if this one is number 1 on a lot of people's lists. It's number 4 on my list, but it could blend anywhere from 2 to 4, and that is the 2021 Michigan Ohio State game. So the game where we ended up beating Ohio State 42-27 at the Big House, right? And this probably hit different for you, Dre, being at the game when the crowd stormed the field after the game. For me, it was one of those things where year after year after year after year, the pedestal of beating Ohio State kept getting higher and higher and higher, right? And so to beat them the way that we did, to out physical them, right? To beat them with 2 or 3 tight ends on the field at all time, to beat them with hitting the CJ Stroud over and over, and he got he got his yards in that game, but not in big chunks, not in big plays. So that game to me was one of my favorite moments as a Michigan fan, and beating it was like I just felt like it was took the monkey off the back as a fan, right? Like it felt like you could relax a little bit because you finally beat Ohio State, and the fact that it was in the snow and we did it behind 5 touchdowns that Hassan Haskins ran for. It was one of the funnest games of football that I ever watched. It was like one of the moments in Michigan football where I don't remember very many times where I had more fun than that day. And I probably consumed a lot of nervous beers in that day as well. But that's my number 4.
Yeah, man, that was some wild day. Like you said, it was snowing, but it wasn't cold. Like you felt the intensity and atmosphere in the Big House was like no other I ever felt before in my life, and I still have not felt it again to this day. Like it was something special in the house that day, man. Like, oh man, like I remember the whole Big House standing up on the bleachers, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't sit down not one time. Mr. Brightside was probably the loudest it ever been.
DJ, pump it up.
Going through the stadium. So wow, like, oh man, just that day, man. It was that's my number 3 game. So we're gonna reiterate it again, but go over it again. But Jesus, man, it was nothing like that, man. I swear to God, as a Michigan fan, bro, I was probably one of my best days as a Michigan fan, for real. It was just, oh man, it was magical.
It was the blue flu game.
Yeah. Sue's on board with me. Beating Ohio State in 2021 was her number 4 too, at a wedding in Ohio. But that's even better, right? When you're in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
You bring your husband, Scott, could have been your number 2 for that.
Oh, it went crazy.
GG, favorite one with Ohio State was with Connor Stallions, and everyone's ready for Michigan to take the L. The magic happened, and that was last year.
Bang!
Yeah,
that was good.
Sure. Jason, what's your number 4?
So 3. So number 4, it's a 3-peat. Like it's the same game for me. So it's the blue flu game. So it's 2021. I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to my brother's house to go watch it, but Dre calls me before the game while I'm on my way to my brother's house, because I'm not gonna lie, when I got there I had like a lot of alcohol. But Dre, I remember you calling me and you just said something feels different, quote unquote. Just saw some of the coaches, some of the players get off the buses. Something just feels different. And I was thinking about that too. And like, I felt the same way. I wasn't at the atmosphere when you called me. It's just that confidence. Like, it's not going to be a here we go again, end of the year game, complacency, can't beat those bitches down south. But it was a special moment. So I'm sure you had to be there, but it felt, even if you weren't there, like you could still feel that emotion like in the crowd, right?
Well, yeah, as a Michigan fan, you felt that for sure. You felt that.
Like even after, you could see the videos, like So Brett was saying like he cried, like dude, I did too. Like there was a bunch of Michigan fans at my brother's house. Like we all ran outside, like into the
Yeah, I
streets,
definitely let out a little bit of tears running on
dude,
the field.
we were cracking booze like outside. Like we haven't had this shit in 8 fucking years. And then we get hit with the sign stealing stuff. And then Gigi's good segue right there. We beat Ohio State without Connor Stallions, new staff, new players, different quarterback. But then they win the Natty. It's the same shit. It's like I can't stand people that make excuses. Be a man, not a little boy, and take the loss, right? Don't be a little bitch. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. But, like, anyways, yeah, that Derek. So, I know, Dre, this is your number 3. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised it's not higher for you, but, like, there's so many games to pick from. We probably could have done a top 15 and made this a 3
Yeah, bro. I got so many games, bro, for real.
Dude,
For real.
I got so many. But, like, so it took L's. So like 8 straight years, right? You know, last win was 2011 with Denard. You know, besides them paying the refs and when JT was short, but like I said, we don't make excuses. Like we're Michigan fans, like not like those bitches down south. But that's number 4 for me. Honestly, I should have ranked this one higher. I just got some other games, but I mean this was just this game that game it really hit the fields. You knew something different. 3-time Big Ten champions, like 3 years in a row, 3 seasons in a row. Holy shit. If you would have told me that 5 years ago, like, yeah, I'd want to believe it. But realistically, as a Michigan fan, like, the expectations weren't there, right? Until Jim arrived. So, absolutely, dude. We can make a separate pod about this game, dude. It's
even when Jim got there, right? If you would have said in 2020, oh hey, by the way, Michigan's going to go on a run and win 3 straight national championships and beat Ohio State the next 3 years, we'd have been like, get the fuck out of here.
Like, the 10 championships, I've been like, you're on crack.
Yeah.
If we would have won 3 national championships, I probably would have been dead by now. Like all this heart attack.
We went to,
what 3?
We went to the playoffs.
Michigan on a 3?
Dude, 3 years we went to the playoffs. I mean, we got our ass kicked by probably like one of the best NFL semi-pro teams in Georgia. But then at TCU is just. It's like, I don't know if we just needed that game or whatever. We just needed that boost. But it's sports. Shit happens. Congrats to them. So
that was so heartbreaking.
It was, dude.
Being at the game, something felt different that day for sure. All right, Dre. I'll let you go back to back. I'll let you go back to back here because you've got that game as your number 3 game. I'll let you start. I'll let you start with what your number 4 game is, and then after you talk about your number 4 game, add anything that you want to add to the Michigan Ohio State 2021.
Cool. Okay. Well, my number. I'm gonna go with Michigan versus Illinois, the Moody game, the Money Moody game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Isaiah Gash, thanks, bro. Thanks for catching that ball.
The reason why I picked that was Gigi's first home game. And after that, that's what exploded her into the person she is now. Shout out her. Our bodies was so numb. I ain't never been that cold at a game in my life. But just being at Michigan and just seeing everything we got to see and Moody making that last second field goal, man, it was a magical moment. Something that me and her will never forget together. And like I said, man, I just only can go off what I've been going through. And that's one of my top moments in my Michigan life, man, seeing her enjoy the big house like I get to enjoy the big house and at a win. Sorry it was cold, G, but you know how that worked. But yeah, that's my number 4.
Yeah, I'm cold. I was moving into my house that day, my new house too.
Man, it was super cold.
It's the last day.
Super cold.
It's freaking out watching on my phone and like, dude. But thank you, Isaiah. Thank you.
Now, you know what I'm saying? Back to the Ohio State game. like I said before, the atmosphere was different. Um, I got to walk on the field that day, and I got to talk to some of the players like when they was warming up. You could just feel it, like it was their confidence was through the roof. Yeah, it's been like that a couple years, you know what I'm saying, with Ohio State at, you know what I'm saying, that I done been at where our confidence is high, but we still take the L. In 2001, it felt like um we was right there. We just had to go out and snatch it, and we did. And once we knew we won, like the man, bro, I wish we could have seen if we could have broke the record of how loud is, you know, the loudest stadium. Because man, when I tell you, I ain't never heard the big house like that, and I wish the big house um continuously be loud like that, man. Because if we was loud
me
like that every
too.
game, we'd be a tough home atmosphere to play in, like a Penn State or
The
you know what I'm
video
saying, or
game,
something like that.
your fucking
Man, when I
controller
tell
would
you it was
break.
like
Yeah.
that in there, boy, I never forget that game. And that was one of the
Mhm.
games that I'm glad I got to witness in person. And man, it was like I said, it was one of my best days of my Michigan life, man.
Yeah,
Like, you know
dude.
what I'm saying? That's one of my best moments of Michigan life, man. Just being to see that and get on the field and see players crying and like just the whole Mr. Brightside on the field and pump it up on the field as you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, we watching Ohio State walk through this big crowd of Michigan people, we laughing at them and
Dissing
go
themselves. Yeah.
blues everywhere and tears and hugs, man. It was like I said, it's nothing like it. Rushing the field after Ohio State is great. I'm sorry. I mean, it's nothing like that, man. Nothing.
Don't apologize. Dude, that's
Nothing.
awesome. Love it.
For sure. For sure. So Dre's number 3, Michigan versus Ohio State 2021. My number 3 is the national championship against Washington. To me, that is I had a hard time figuring out where to put that in my top 5 list because it was a natty, and it was the first, not to take away from the 1997 shared national title, but it feels different when you play a championship game and win a championship game versus playing a season and then a national championship being given out to the top ranked team at the end of the season, which is what it was in 97. So, to me, going through the gauntlet that we went through, that the team went through, that the coaching staff went through in 2023, and finishing off, really dominating the national championship, right? Like that game, it felt like we had control of that game. It was still kind of tight late in the game before we pulled away at the very end, but it felt like we had control of that game pretty much from the start, right? Pretty much from the 2 long touchdown runs early in the game by Edwards. It felt like, man, we just are a different level than this team. But I don't know. Again, taking a step back, looking at it and saying, hey, Michigan's going to win the national championship. And by the way, they've only got 2 5-star players on that roster, right? JJ and Will Johnson were the only 5-star players on that national championship roster. That's outrageous, and that's unheard of. And that was a fantastic way to end the 2023 season. And I'll definitely never forget Jim Harbaugh pulling it down at the end of the game, right?
His speeches.
Yeah, that's my
Pull it down.
number two moment to
Pull
be
it down. We did that.
like that game was, oh man. Shout out to the Victors Nation for getting me to that game. First off, shout out
Sue,
Miss
shout out to Sue, yeah.
Her magic and getting everybody to help donate to get me to the game. That was, first of all, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me as a Michigan fan from other people. So thank y'all, Victors Nation. I will never, ever, ever forget that. That was something that'll never be forgotten, and I still talk about that to this day. Without y'all, it wouldn't have been possible. I promise. Um, but being there, man, I just remember getting to the game and seeing Tiff Zinner and me and her jump around, and she asked me, "Where we at?" I'll never forget that she asked. So she said, "Where we at?" I said, "Natty,
National
baby."
championship. Yeah.
Man, it was just a fun environment. That I know we was gonna win. Yeah, I knew we was gonna win, man. I didn't think we was gonna get that far
After
and keep
Bama,
going,
yeah, it
especially
was
after
done.
years that we went through. You know what I'm saying, to get there. So I knew we was gonna win. So that was never like in my mind. It was, to be honest, that whole night was like just a celebration from the time the kickoff until the time it ended. It was just all celebrations, like, because I don't think Michigan wasn't behind none in that game. So it was a fun night, man. Shout out my cousin L too, man. He was with me. We had a ball, man. And we had a ball that night, man.
It's awesome, dude.
Jason, what's number 3 for you?
Well, no shit. It's the Natty game.
Yeah.
So you got 2 out of 3 so far. Same rank. Dude, that, like, so after we beat Bama, Rose Bowl game, like, confidence is high. We're winning a Natty, obviously, but like hearing like Washington's fan base like acting like they've been through shit all that year. Like, I'm telling you right now, that game was special to me. Like,
Man.
shut the fuck up.
My cousin.
Like, shut up.
Never,
like, I know this is on another episode.
Oh, go ahead.
But
I'm sorry,
like,
I thought you was still.
I'm just gonna say, like, that fan base, shut up. Like, you haven't been through shit, okay? Every day, every week, ESPN's bullshit, all the crap we've been through, something that is a gray rule and that, quote unquote, from the NCAA won't impact games. But coincidentally, it's what Jim said during that time with athletes sharing TV endorsements, getting paid, going after kind of the NCAA's pocketbook, right? So, fuck you, NCAA. Like, all the shit we were through that year and all the shit we're continuing to do, I've never seen a program so strong, a fan base so strong. Like, we held our own that whole year. I'm like, I know the program, like, they weren't looking at the noise or anything like that. Like, but it's around. I don't care what happens. Like, stay off of social media or whatever, but like, the shit that we've been through, that fueled the fire. So what I'm trying to say is, NCAA, Pete Thamel, all the Buckeyes, thanks for the fire. Thanks for the fuel for the fire, pussies, because we just won a natty. So thank you for everything that you did for us that year, you morons, because you really pushed us past the brink. What did Mike Barrett say, boys? What did Barrett say that season?
Be careful who you make the villain.
Be careful who you make the villain. And you guys fucked up. So I appreciate our rivals. I appreciate ESPN. I appreciate the NCAA and all the bullshit that you did, even though the rule you already know is gray and it's bullshit and other teams are doing it. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And as a culture for Ohio State, I really want that it's still going to be continued, and I really like that it's still going to be continued to be embedded in your culture, that it was all sign stealing because your head coach is full of excuses, your program's full of excuses. And I'm not being a dick right now. I'm speaking the truth. Your fan base and your football culture and your program is so obsessed with that as an excuse because you need to find a justification on how to take your losses. It's pathetic. And I'm sure it's pretty similar to your personal lives as well, too, being pretty shitty. So pretty pathetic, but appreciate you giving us the natty, fair and square, quote unquote. Appreciate you guys. Love it.
So I'm pretty sure Mike Barrett said that after the Penn State game.
Yes, he did. PSU, yep. where we ran the ball like 30 plus fucking straight times, like 33 straight times.
Yeah, 32 straight
that game
runs.
was great too.
Mm-hmm.
That game was
Yeah,
great.
that game was really, it was tough to keep
Yeah.
me off of the top 5 list here. A couple
Dude,
comments.
I thought about it. I
Almost fought a Penn State usher that day.
Yeah, you're in the video. You're in the YouTube hype video from that game too, Dre.
That's that. Hey, low key, that's when I was about to fight him too. At that point.
Yeah.
We might get to maybe get to this one. So and Dre, this was your number 2 game. Hey, so you were to number 2. So anything that you wanted to add that you didn't already say about the
national
Natty
championship?
Yeah.
No, like I said, man, it was something that I'll never forget. But even though that it was the Natty, it's crazy that a lot of Michigan fans that I have talked to, right, it's not their number 1 game, and that's for us Michigan fans, and that's like the ultimate prize for us. That's crazy. That's not a lot of us number 1 game. That's crazy. But that game was great though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that played. Shout out to all the parents. We had a ball that night. We partied like it was 1997, baby.
Beat Nebraska's ass that year too, so it didn't matter.
So
it was legit.
I think we'll probably all have some definitions on the Natty dinner though.
Yeah.
GG was lit.
Yeah, that Natty dinner was lit. That's what I was saying. That whole night we partied like it was 1997. I'm telling you.
Do you want to talk about that though, Dre?
The Natty dinner?
Yeah, but didn't Mason Graham, was the story with Mason?
Oh no, that was the day before the Natty. So
oh yeah, but okay, so like still, I mean, I think you should still share that. That was with like security or something.
Okay, so the day before the national championship, me and Gigi, we was in the team hotel, and you know they had super tight security. It was so tight you would have thought the president was in there. So it was only certain parts of the hotel you can go to without security stopping you, or you know what I'm saying. You had to have credentials or family to get in. And so I see Mason's mom, Mason, Mrs. Loveland, and Cole. They all sitting like in the corner by, you know what I'm saying. And you know me, I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, hey, oh, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying. They go. Let me go thank them. You know what I'm saying for something. You know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I went to go thank them for something, and the security guard, like, he almost took my life. And when I tell you, Mason defended me like, you know what I'm saying, he was on the defensive line and said, no, that's family, let him through, was one of the greatest things ever, man. Like, I was just like, oh, okay, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Because the security guard was about to take my life, boy, I'm telling you. Like, he was guarding the president. He took his job so serious, man. Oh, it was great. But the dinner, the national championship dinner, so let me set that mood. So it's me, Gigi, and my cousin L and Travis. Now Travis, he got credentials at this time to be in the dinner. Me, Gigi, and my cousin L, we don't. So we come in the hotel like through this back way. I don't even know where we was at. All I know is we hopped on this like tiny elevator, right? And we got off. And when we got off, people was like, security was checking our credentials, like, to make sure we were supposed to be up here. So when Travis went right to go into the dinner, me, Gigi, and L, we all went left. So, because we was kind of like scared they was going to stop us. You know what I'm saying? So, because we didn't have our credentials on. So, we sat over there for a second. And then we were just like, man, you know what? Forget it. You know what I'm saying? Let's just walk around here, see if they gonna stop us. So we end up walking around. As soon as we got around there, a dude asked us where our credentials was, but I can't remember what I told him, and we just kept walking, and he left us alone. So we got in the dinner. And when we got in the dinner, people, like, you know what I'm saying, the families and stuff, they know who we are. They was more shocked that we got in there than us actually being in there. They like, how did y'all make this happen? Like it was so crazy. I was when I first got in there, I was going around the people table like, oh, I ain't supposed to be here, so I'm just saying hi and keeping it moving so they won't stop me. Like, bro, for that first like 30 minutes, bro, I was pew until it got like packed so people wouldn't notice who I was or notice I wasn't supposed to be in there. But man, that night was epic, man. It so epic, man.
You got your ass kicked. More epic.
I almost got beat up, man. That security guard wasn't playing, bro. I'm telling you, bro. If Mason wouldn't have stopped me.
Shit, it's crazy.
I had my pass. Yeah, all right. I was
okay. GG always speaks the truth. Love it.
That's great. All right. Number two games. Dre, yours was we already talked about that with the Natty. Number 2 for me. It was Michigan, Ohio State 2023. 30-24 win at the Big House. And I was kind of in between where I was placed in 2021 versus 2023. And to me, I put 2023 here because it felt like the entire integrity of our season was on the line in this game. Like, if we lost to Ohio State, then we cheated. Right. And without Connor Stallions, then without being able to cheat, we couldn't beat anyone relevant. If we beat Ohio State, it signified that, hey, you beat Ohio State, and Connor Stallions hasn't even been on the staff for the last half of the season. And you've got an interim head coach that is stepping in right now. So you don't even have your head coach running the team. Right. So that win to me just completely justified Michigan's entire 2023 season. And one moment, we talk about games, we talk about moments, but one moment that is just going to be etched in my memory is after Zach Zinter went down, and then Corum had his touchdown run, doing the 6-5 in the camera. Right. Like, I don't know, that game was getting the monkey off the back in 2021 was awesome. But that game felt like there was so much riding on it as a fan base. Right. Like, I felt like we were all on edge knowing that we were just going to get
a national championship, like lit up game, or just a playoff game.
Right.
First round playoff game out of the 4. It's crazy.
Yeah, I got a crazy story about this game.
So 2023, Ohio State, that's my number 2 game. We'll get to your crazy story, Dre. Jason, what's your number 2 game?
I was going to say real quick too. I mean, have you guys ever heard Joel Glatt talk about just with the Zach Zinter and the crowd, dude? Like, just
he almost started crying talking about it.
He did. Like, it was crazy, dude. Being close with that family. I know, Dre, you're closer with them, but just absolutely, like, it was different. It was different. Like, when that happened, for sure. Like, I don't want to say it's a momentum boost, but it's just like we got down to business. So 6-5, and Zach's always going to be our guy, regardless. He's always going to be our number 1 guy. So appreciate everything he's done with us. We're in our merchandise. Tiffany coming onto the show as well too. So that family's been, just hanging out with them a couple of times too. It's been awesome. So, so my Let's talk about Dre's story first. If it's about that game, let's keep it on the same topic if you don't mind. Dre, why don't you
Yeah, real quick though. You know what I'm saying? So at that game, it was gonna be, if we won, that was gonna be GG's first time rushing the field, right? So I don't know if y'all remember or if y'all even know, but at the big house, before you jump down from the stands, it's probably like a big drop. Like you gotta really jump and drop to jump on the field. So I took her hand and we jump off the field, and me being more excited than her at the time, I let her hand go and just started running aimlessly, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know. And I got to a point and I turned around, and she's nowhere to be found. Right? So we end up, you know what I'm saying, meeting up again in the crowd. I don't know how we magically found each other, whatever, what have you not.
I don't know how you did that either.
But
crazy.
We did, and we at the end, right? So me and her, we are walking back to the car and we're talking, you know, celebrating still. And she shows me this video of what happens when I let her hand go and she's running by. So she runs into Desmond Howard and Charles Woodson. So she's on the field celebrating with them. She got videos celebrating with them. And when I tell you I was so mad, that killed my whole day. Like after the fun, I see some in the video, my face went so blank. Like why I have to let your hand go right then? And you know what I'm saying? And I'm chilling. I'm like, man, she got hands on Desmond and Charles, and they jumping around. I'm like, man. Yeah. That was it. Shout out her, man.
Gigi always seems to be in the right spot, though.
Man, I swear to God, bro.
She is. Like, this is a true story. These are all true.
I swear, man. I swear.
Fucking awesome. All right, my number 2.
Yes, sir.
Number 2.
All right, 2011. Under the lights at the big house.
Ooh.
Michigan, Notre Dame in the house. Under 30 seconds, down 28-31. Jeremy Gallen, wide open, down the side, cuts up the middle, across the field at the 15 with 8 seconds left. Denard lobs it up on next play, and then touchdown catch by Roy Roundtree. Like, so I was still in college at the time or whatever, but like I like half streaked outside after that. So it's night as shit, it's dark as shit. Complex. I'm taking off my shirt, like I'm unzipping in my pants, like zipping my like it was crazy, dude. Like I was going almost half streak. My girlfriend at the time was like, she's like, "What are you doing? Like, stop!" Like that was one of the most fucking craziest games. And like Notre Dame goes down the field prior to that and scores like under a minute, right?
Yeah, it's going
like,
quick.
Yeah, like, we're not winning this game. So like out of nowhere, dude, Jeremy Allen like wide fucking open. Gets us to the 15-yard line. And I'm thinking, like, we're going to tie the game here. Down by 3, 28-31, like I stated before. Like, we're going to kick the field goal. We're going to run the ball, like, maybe once in the middle to get the field goal kicker in position. But no, we lob the fucking ball up. It looks like a post-corner shitty route. Roundtree ends up with it, cradles it, I think he gets 2 feet, and I can't remember, but, like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, that was the most insane fucking ending to a game. Like, it was just nuts. Absolutely crazy. And then we still beat the shit out of Notre Dame in 19 as well, too. So, like, you know, I don't know, man. That game for me, like, that was just fucking nuts.
He caught that pass, bro. The stadium went nuts.
I didn't even do it. Like I didn't even attempt to like half streak after we won the Natty. That game was fucking crazy.
That was a fire game, bro. Our first night game in the big house history. That was fire,
dude. Oh my god, Under the Lights, man. I know we had Under the Lights too, but like, man,
that was a fire game too, though. Low-key.
That was just I still have the image. Like when I die, like, you know, you're supposed to say like flashbacks of your life. Like that is going to be like up there. I know the kids being born and like the twins being born, that's going to be there too. But dude, that fucking thing's going to be in the top 20. Like I guarantee it, I'm going to see flashbacks to that. I can't wait. It's going to be fucking crazy. I suppose I could just YouTube it right now, but like, dude, man, again, another game we could probably just have like a 2-hour podcast about.
Yeah. Because I think it was like 30 seconds. I think Notre Dame scored with 30 seconds left in the game, or right around 30 seconds.
And then it was second and 10, and I think we had like 23 seconds. Jeremy Gallen caught the ball, got us to the 15
They left him wide open.
Seconds. Before, he was wide open to the side of the field, cuts up the middle, gets a good block, hits across the field, and then a 15-yard line, and then we throw a fucking lob pass up to Roy Roundtree. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
dude, that game was so
my brother
crazy.
was in there going crazy. I'll never forget that.
That game. That game was wild. I mean, I was for my number 5 spot. I was caught up between choosing that one or the Michigan State game in 2004.
Yeah,
and I went with the Michigan State game.
But
that game was wild too.
I had to put that in my top 3. Like that was such a good fucking game. Such a good game.
All right, number 1. I have a feeling because none of us have picked this game yet that we all have
we went
the
back
same.
to Corey's. We have to go back to Corey's comment too.
Yeah, we all.
I can find it right here.
2024 Rose Bowl. Hope.
Yeah.
Is on the list. JJ need. Bro, that's my number 1.
Yeah.
It's everyone's number 1. That's what I put.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
That's all of our number 1s. So Dre, go ahead and talk about it because you were there.
I never, ever in my life, and I done been to a lot of stadiums, but I never, ever been in that type of atmosphere as far as setting, perfect weather. Like the Rose Bowl. If you never been to the Rose Bowl for a Rose Bowl game, please go. Like the Rose Bowl, the pageantries, the everything they do, the parade. Even though I didn't get to see it, just the placement of where the stadium at. Like you got to ride through these mountains and all types of stuff. Like man, the Rose Bowl. It was nothing like it. Then to be a part of that and us having to have that final drive for us to win the game where we go home and we pull it off. Then we make that stand.
Yep.
It was, man, to get to the national championship, man, it was, I'm telling you, man, it was, that was one of the greatest, man. I was so glad to be a part of that. That was, oh man. I tell everybody to this day, like my number 1,
as well too.
Yeah, my number 1 game I ever been to was the Rose Bowl, and I'm gonna always say that. Even though we won the national championship right after, the national championship didn't feel like the Rose Bowl. I wish the Rose Bowl was the national championship actually.
It should be.
It was nothing like that, man.
Now it's a part of the Big Ten.
Yeah, I got that on video. That Blake touchdown when he.
Yeah.
And I got the goal line stand on video. Like, bro, we was right there. Like, cause we was coming down to go celebrate just in case they won, or we was gonna leave just in case they didn't. You know what I'm saying? It was that close. And all of them timeouts. And remember they took like 2 or 3 timeouts back to back. And everybody everybody in the stadium was on their feet. Like it was crazy, bro. That last look, man. Oh man, it was nothing like that, man. I wish I would have live streamed the whole day because it was nothing like it, man. Nothing like it.
And then same side of the field, beating Alabama twice in the same year, stopping the same quarterback as well too. Fucking insane.
I didn't even look at it like that for sure. We definitely did.
Same side of the field, same QB, but like
first day and the last day of the year.
Yeah. Bye, Nick Saban.
And beat Caleb Downs twice with 2 different teams. And what was the center's name for Bama that went to Ohio State?
Within the same years.
Blah blah blah.
Yes, blah blah blah. That's his name. Blah blah blah.
Laughing or whatever, but like he did us some favors in the Rose Bowl game. his low ass
yeah,
snaps as well
yeah.
too.
Bama fan,
So
bro. We had
everyone
fun with
talks
Bama
about
fans
Caleb
that game.
Downs, but he was a Buckeye as well too. He transferred after, so we beat
Yep.
him as well too. But like,
Yep.
man, like I don't know if that was the design play, but the snap was low again from the same center. He struggled pretty much most of the night, at least in every quarter. But like,
Mason Graham got on him. Kenneth Grant.
dude, and we had that same defensive line going into this year or last season as well too. I mean, it was fucking insane. Like I'm gonna go next here. Like you can go after. Like I gotta talk about this, but like I had like 2 brats, a hot dog, and 2 burgers. I'm not even kidding. Like I can eat. I don't look like I can, but I can eat for sure. Derek knows. But like, yeah. Like I have never had, and it wasn't the red meat. It wasn't the alcohol I consumed. It's probably a part of that. But like I've never seen such, because I had people over too, but like an anxiety fucking driven game. And like it made it work. I mean, it was a Michigan fan as well too. I haven't felt like that since watching, as a non-Michigan fan, the Fiesta Bowl with Boise State and Oklahoma. I thought that game was fucking crazy until I watched that game. Until I watched Bama and Michigan in the Rose Bowl. That was absolutely a fucking anxiety-driven, emotionally driven, charged game. Insane. Right? So, like, just we made some mistakes on special teams. That pissed me off because they got a touchdown off of that as well, too. The muff punt or whatever. But then, oh my God, why can't I think of his damn name? He bobbled the kickoff, or bobbled the punt on the goal line. Why can't I think of his name? Help me out. On the goal line. Towards the end
Jake
of the Bama game. Jake Thaw, yes.
Thaw.
Yeah, I knew it was Jake. I couldn't think of the last name, but like,
I thought it was Jake. I was about to say, I didn't know his last name. I just thought it was Jake.
Fuck. Like, right there even scared the shit out of me, but we got forward progress. But then to then go for it on 4th down, and then you see the Roman Wilson block, but like we already got far down the field, so I didn't mean shit to a point.
I ain't gonna lie, I was mad at that.
I mean, I was too, but it's like I was pissed, but I'm like, oh my God, like, can we get some fucking help? I feel like the whole fucking world's against us, like every game.
I was mad until somebody told me it's still the 1st down. Then I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, like, oh my God,
I was like, oh, all right, cool.
But then he makes an amazing catch as well too, and then scores a touchdown. And then not even that, just with the missed field goal. Or not the missed field goal, but like the muffed fucking field goal early in the game. And then we got to watch another field goal at that point too. But like, holy crap. Like every aspect, every play of that game, whether it was Bama's ball, Michigan's ball, Michigan on defense, Bama on defense, it was just emotionally charged, just intensity of a game. And you felt it. Dre, I don't even like, we could talk about it all day, like how you felt like being there, but like even outside of the game, like I can't even imagine how you felt because it was insane here. And the people that I had over, we had an awesome atmosphere here. But like, dude, that is my number one by far. And like, I'm kind of glad, like it was intense, right? It was sweat, tears, intensity, adrenaline, and beers, basically, right? Like, no rhyme intended at the end, but like I'm glad we're kind of picking games that like it was meaningful games, but meaningful games to us as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But also like we're picking games that like I think we're picking games like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like where we're at for like emotion, like for the top 5, like that's what we're talking about. And that's why like it's cool to kind of like this is probably one of our best podcast episodes ever. Like it's really showing the emotion behind the fan of like what that game meant to you, and that's why I think this topic is really cool. But enough of that. Yeah. But enough of it. But like, I'm just saying, like, dude, that game was. I still watch it on YouTube, and I'm still like yelling. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like, dude, that game was crazy. Even when I watch the highlights, dude, I still watch it. I think you guys can't deny this. Like, how many fucking times did you watch like YouTube highlights or any type of highlights of that game? I think I'm in like the hundreds.
I watched them that whole night.
I watched the game right after. I didn't even give a shit about Texas and Washington after that. I watched
bro. I didn't care about none of that.
Like, fuck them. We're gonna beat shit out of them no matter who we play. Like,
low key, after the game, I was trying to figure out how we was about to get to Houston. We started talking because like it was like 3 or 4 days, like right after Houston. So right after the Rose Bowl. So me and Gigi, we like, oh, we gotta leave here and get right back on the plane and go to Houston. Like, like it, bro. That whole time was, bro. That was a wild time right there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that season was wild.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, we're not raking games that like, oh, we're like, here's the natties and whatever. It's just like, my God, that game was just like, it's like someone wrote a fucking soap opera, dude. Like, this is like Hallmark, like maybe for my wife, maybe it was the same thing, like Hallmark Christmas in July type shit. In fucking same game. That is my number one. All three of us have that game, but yeah, Jared, go ahead, bro. I can talk about this all night.
You know, I think part of it is that it felt like the national championship, right? Like, and going back to what I was talking about the integrity of our season. Everyone was against us, right? It was that there were 2 fan bases. Like, the other game was almost obsolete, minus outside of Texas, right? Because Washington doesn't carry the same. No disrespect to Washington's fan base, but they don't have the following that Michigan, Alabama, and Texas have.
Texas, yeah, for sure.
And so that the semifinals was pretty much Texas fans cared about Texas. The Pacific Northwest corner of the country cared about Washington, and it was Michigan versus everybody for the Alabama. And again, that game kind of held the integrity of the season on it. That's why there was so much buildup. That's why there was so much anxiety in the game in every drive, because it was Michigan in a season that as a fan base, we were hoping would prove everybody wrong that was calling Michigan cheaters all year, right? And so not only was that, but we were going up against the Goliath of college football in Alabama. And so we're going up against the Goliath, the best of the best, the team that is loaded top to bottom with top 100 recruits on their roster, with debatably the best college football coach of all time in the roster.
Yeah.
And we put together a drive at the end of the game to tie the game. And we had such a big goal line stop. Like, that goal line stop, like that play itself is that, like, the play to Blake Corum, the pass to Blake Corum, great play. Hitting Roman Wilson on the crossing route, great play. Hitting Roman Wilson
went up in the air a little bit higher. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then Roman scoring a touchdown to punch it in. Blake Corum's cut.
Oh, dude.
In overtime.
His broken ankle. Dude.
Like it's unreal. Like, it's like he just completely moved in a way that a human body is not supposed to move. And also was just a bowling ball the rest of that run. And the goal line stand. I mean, that sequence of events, the emotion that came from end of the game, down by 7 against a Nick Saban coach defense. And we put together we went the length of the field and scored a touchdown to tie the game, and then went into overtime and scored right away and had the big goal line stand. Like, that change of emotion of beating the Goliath of college football. I mean, that felt like the national championship. To me, like I didn't have as much build up against Washington as I did going into that game. I was a lot less tense during the game. Maybe it's because we jumped out to an early lead and it was a little more relaxing. But beating Alabama, and that to me, that was my national championship of the season.
There was, and no amount of alcohol could prepare you for that baseball game. You can't even deny it. Every single play was just ridden with anxiety. Absolutely crazy as a fan. Yeah. We get to live through it. Makes you feel human, which we are. But love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, that was.
Yeah.
And you know what?
For it all, baby. We was there for it all.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, good stuff. Good. This was a fun topic to go over because we haven't even talked about this as just like.
Oh, I don't even know why we never even thought about why didn't we never think about this? Yeah. We're creative people, I promise. But
we are.
Should have talked about this a while ago, but I'm glad we waited. So
yeah, but I mean, stay tuned, and if if they're, we're pretty open, and so should have mentioned this at the top of the podcast, but bringing it back here at the end. If you're listening to this podcast for the first time, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have Facebook, be sure to look up the Victors Nation on Facebook and join the Facebook group. But if you have topics, right? If you tune in every week, we try and make these podcasts interactive, right? We try and one of the things that we value is the community of the Victors Nation, the community of Michigan fans that are just all over the country, border to border, coast to coast, being able to connect with one another. So if it's if there are certain things that you want us to dive into, if there are certain things that you want to hear opinions on, whether it's football, basketball, other Michigan sports, we primarily focus on football and basketball. But if you want to throw some conversation around about hockey or baseball or anything else, I guarantee you that we can find more than enough time to fill talking about it. So if you have questions, things that you're curious about, things you want to hear our opinions on, throw it in here, bring it to us, and we'll add it to the list of things that we talk about. But that being said, I mean, stay tuned. At the beginning of the podcast, we talked about recruiting. We talked about the changes with revenue sharing with the players. Pretty soon, we're going to be getting into being able to preview our position groups and start to preview the season. It's June 10th today as we're recording this podcast. Before you know it, training camp's going to be starting and the season's going to be on the doorstep. But stay tuned, follow along as we talk about everything and anything leading up to the season.
See you at week 1 too.
Yes, sir.
We will see as many people as we can tailgating week 1.
Yes, sir. We got a lot of stops. We're gonna pull out all the stops too, but because it's a night game, and it's gonna be a long ass day, but a good day.
We'll be drunk by 12.
Yeah, if anybody
10, but yeah, we can place bets on that. We can talk about that.
The over under. Oh man,
we can drink beer. Ditto, Shane. Hell yeah, Sue. See you at Hopcat. It's always the stop that night too, and across the street because we got free Kona Big Wave last time we were there as well too across the street. So definitely need to stop there. Can't wait.
On that note,
for sure.
On that note, Dre, you want to sign us off?
Thank you guys for tuning in. You know what I'm saying, to another episode of the Victors Nation podcast. We appreciate all the love and support. Like my brother said, please like, share, and comment and hit your notifications bell so you won't never miss an episode of this great podcast. And get on our Facebook page, the Victors Nation LLC, and come interact with the gang. Like one another. Love one another, respect one another, and always go blue.